welcome back to Dudes and Dudes. Today we're going to finally, it has been way too long. I've promised you, I've asked you for questions, and it's time for me to do the Ask Me Anything. I have a list of questions. We're here with Ellie, who's a big part of this channel. We try to bring her to as many places as we can, and today we are here at the Four Corners of Law in Charleston, South Carolina at Washington Square Park. You say hi to everybody? Say hi, dudes. It is quite hot, but we found a shady spot under a live oak, and hopefully it doesn't rain. It's actually blue skies right now, but there's a lot of wind. I actually tried to start this video already. It was just too windy. We're here now. We're gonna start and go through this Ask Me Anything. Lots of loud things here in Charleston today. Hey, you okay? And we've got a bone for Ellie. We got a bone here for Ellie. Where is it? Is it in this pocket? Let's check this pocket. We got a peanut butter bone. It's a good one. Maybe we'll have this soon, okay? We gotta get through a couple questions here. For those of you that don't know, we do videos traveling to wherever we can. We are not full-time, we're part-time. We typically will try to take time off of work and go to some local places. We also go to far off distant places and explore. We are actually here to celebrate 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And while it's just a drop in the bucket, it's a huge milestone for me. Getting to 1,000 was kind of a marathon. You're kicking my pole, Ellie. Getting to 1,000 was basically a marathon. So I tip my hat off to all the other YouTubers out there that have 100,000, 500,000, a million. It's really well earned. There's a lot of play buttons out there, but just getting to 10,000 was a lot. I'm not an overnight success. I am slow and steady wins the race, and so we're here. We're celebrating 10,000 of you watching my videos about all the different things and all the different places that we go. We even do some stuff local because Charleston is rated as like #1 city to visit like 9 years in a row. And so there's so much to see here as well. And for me, it's a learning experience. I did not grow up in Charleston. I'm actually from New York. I was born in Queens. My parents moved out to Long Island as a child. Grew up on in the east part of Long Island, eastern northern coast of Long Island, about a 10-minute walk from the beach. After I went to college, we moved out. We moved to California, and then from California we moved to Charleston because we are East Coasters at heart, and that's where we are. Okay, I got a couple thoughts on YouTube before we get into your questions. There are some that are from I'll give a call out, I'll give a shout out to the people who dropped a comment below in my post from about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I'll answer your question. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about what I think about YouTube. Before I started filming myself and uploading to YouTube, I was thinking that it would be a little bit easier to put the content out there, and I think, I was thinking originally that I would get more likes, more comments. I feel like, maybe I would do better than I did. And then once you start uploading it and you see that the clock moves a tick, you realize this is a lot harder than you thought. The other thing about YouTube to me is I call YouTube is kind of like a Zen master. They kind of keep you in your place.
Only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned.
How do I put this? So for the YouTubers out there that have commented on this video, you know that it is ridiculous because you can film an amazing location, amazing excursion, phenomenal backdrop, really great action, and you cut the video and you spend countless hours on the video, and it goes nowhere. And then you can kind of throw a video together because you're so busy and you might be on the run and you might be short for time, and you cut the video together and it's like you're not the most proud of it, but it ends up doing really well. Like, for example, getting to 10,000. There was this short that I did, and it was a template. It was kind of a trend where it said, I know you're probably not going to watch this, and YouTube is competitive, and you know, if you're seeing this, then I'm lucky or whatever. I forget what it said. That video pushed me over 10,000. It gave me like 150 subscribers just from one 7-second short. And so that's why I always say, like, just put your content out there and see where it goes, because every video is going to be different. I am so proud of so many of my videos that I'm blown away when they stay under 100 for me. I think that people would benefit from the video. There's a lot of travel tips in the video. There's a lot of great locations. It looks phenomenal, and it flops. And so that's why I say that YouTube is kind of like the old great grandmaster, like kind of Zen. Just shows you that you have to be humble in this game. And it's a marathon. It's not even a marathon. It's like a century, what do they call it? Century run, century ride, or an Ironman. You need to keep a good pace, because if you're trying to put 2 and 3 videos out a week, you're gonna burn out. And if you're a solo content creator where you film and cut and upload and compile, doing sound edits, you're gonna get wiped out. That's kind of my feelings on YouTube, is the videos that you're most proud of, they sometimes, most of the time, they crash and burn. Let's just be honest. And the videos that are kind of middle of the road, or things that you know you didn't think is going to do very well, those are the ones that do really well. So it's a humbling experience, and my journey has been humbling. There's some videos that are just, you know, I feel like I put my heart and soul into them, and eventually people will watch them. But for right now, like for example, some of the Iceland content and some of the Greece content and my St. Lucia, where I had chills, and filming and editing and stuff. Sometimes filming and you're on the spot and you're on location, you don't get all the feels. You kind of miss out a little bit. And so there's that balance between, like, oh, sorry, Ellie, you finish your bone? She knocked me over. Hey, you're in my, can you come over here? Come on. You're doing very good. All right, we're on uneven ground here. What was I saying? So, you know, like, you want to be in the moment, and it's hard because you're trying to pay attention to, like, making sure your frame is right and making sure that you've got you're capturing the shot. You know, for example, in St. Lucia, and I think it was like I found some coconuts. I bought some coconuts from a market, and I had no way to open them. The lady, like, opened the coconut, cut it open, welcomed me to St. Lucia, and here I was drinking my first coconut. I mean, that is for those moments. You're gonna knock me over again, Ellie. So, like, that is why I do what I do, is because I want to capture those memories. They're great in my head. They're also brought to light when you go back and watch them. Drinking that coconut, and that old woman in the market saying, "Welcome to St. Lucia, welcome to the island," and I just was all tingles. You know, another time when we were in Iceland and we're on the mountain that feels like we're hiking to Mordor, I got those vibes. I was on the top of a mountain, so far from civilization. It began to snow, and you just realize that, holy crap, I'm doing it. Really blows me away. Let's get to your questions. Let's see. First question, getting right into it. I didn't think I was ever going to get through this video, but we're doing it. We're doing it. There's some weddings going on around here. There's good vibes. There's a lot of good vibes. There's wedding parties taking photos. There are babies being walked. There are tourists being toured, and this is the spot. This is the spot we came for. We weren't sure. We were looking for low wind and a beautiful backdrop. We got live oaks, and we're just off of Broad Street. So, first question comes to us from Chef Who Travels. I think the chef is based out of England. We got the question on Instagram, And Chef has a YouTube channel that he also goes around and gives his chefy perspective on food. Just recently watched one of his videos was like pinchos, I think they call them. Like, really cool. Go check him out. His question is, how do you navigate through possible SEO words? And he always feels like he's lost on the aspect of creating and he doesn't understand it. My answer to that is, I struggle also. I don't know. I've heard so many things about keywords. To be honest, I struggle because I've done so much research on, you know, as a new YouTuber, it's like, what do I do with keywords? I've also seen that like keywords are dead. You know, I've seen different tools out there that can compile keywords. I don't think they are super important. I fill them out on every video. I try to get close to people passing here. Thank you, baby. All right. You know, the advice out there says that keywords are dead. If they were dead, why would YouTube keep them in there? So I try to put like a mixture of like exactly what my video is about, and then also kind of zoom out a little bit. So like if I'm doing a video and on the coast of Florida at Disney Vacation Club or Hutchinson Island, you know, I'll put those things like Hutchinson Island, I'll put East Coast Florida, I'll put travel as a high level, I'll put Florida as like a high level, you know, and hopefully the algorithm looks at it and considers it because it's from Florida. You know, I'll put travel videos, travel vlog. I don't know if they actually are working, because I've had similar videos that I've used similar tags in and I've gotten different results. So one video might do really well, one may not. I think there's a lot of variables that go into the SEO of YouTube, but I do think that thumbnail and title are probably one of the most important things, and I'm trying to get better at that. I still also struggle with that. Thank you, Chef Who Travels. I appreciate your comment, and hopefully that answers your question. Stay here, Ellie. No, stay. Yeah, so there's I mean, you could watch videos all day on tags, but I think if for some reason your video comes up and it's got bogus tags, they may skip through your video after they start watching it. That's just my opinion. Hope that helps. Okay, next one comes from a longtime watcher of my channel. This goes back to the beginning when we were locked down in the pandemic, when I started it in 2019, right at the end of 2019. Karen and John, I think their names are. They are big fans of Disney. Her question is, do you agree with the whole niche approach, drilling down on one niche? I certainly don't think it's like a sham. I think it's a good thing. It all kind of depends on what you want to do with your channel. And I think that some channels are super niche down and they do really, really well. Like there's this, have you ever seen the guy that he's like, I think he's called like the White Elephant. He's like retired, I think, and all he does is make milkshakes and drinks, like cold drinks. He's got like 1 million subscribers, and all he does is make milkshakes. They're like 5 minutes long, not even, maybe like a minute. A lot of them are shorts. I'm blown away. I mean, it's a great idea, just milkshakes. So niching down can help. I started this channel to kind of catalog things I like to do, and it's kind of morphed into just more travel. Like certain things, I feel like other people would like them as well. So I was trying to follow that, and then I kind of squeezed the niche a little bit and started doing mostly travel or travel related. Sometimes I do like travel gear, which by the way doesn't do great, but hopefully it helps somebody one day. Yeah, niching down can work. I think if you're niching, you have to be super defined on something that a lot of people like, and you have to zero in on it. Rock collecting maybe would be really big, and you have to be passionate about it. You know, if you niche down too much and not enough people like it, it could be something that doesn't help your channel grow. So as YouTube says, they say try different things, see what works. I mean, these videos are being served out to people from around the world. So whatever you do, sometimes I think about, is my video, you know, is this going to appeal to people? And then I'm like, 2 seconds later, I'm like, I don't really care. Somebody's gonna like it. My experience, I can look back on it, because that's kind of why I started this channel, is so I can look back on it and have kind of a yearbook of all of our travels with Ellie and me and Amy. While Amy doesn't get on video as much, she's been in a couple of videos, and I feel like those did really well because she's there and she's got such a bright personality. She's funny and smart and all that. Hit up the comments and say you want to see more of Amy, and hopefully she'll muscle up the courage to get in front and hold the camera one day, because it's one of those things where it's nerve-wracking to get in front of a camera. I'm kind of comfortable about it right now, but other people, it's hard to get used to, and you get embarrassed and you get nervous. So they are on YouTube, go check them out. They are also on Instagram, and they are living the dream. This video is going to be like 6 years long. All right, next question is from the Hitchhiking Yeti, also another big Disney fanatic. The Hitchhiking Yeti is kind of a nod to the Haunted Mansion and the ghost hosts. He says, how long did I work for Disney Cruise Line, and what was my job responsibilities? Okay, this is taking me back. So I worked for Disney for almost a good part of 8 years. I started back in 1999 on the fall college program, and I had the time of my life. I learned so much working for Disney, and I kept going back. I went back for a summer program in 2000. I went back for an advanced internship in 2001 after I got my associate's degree. Spent some time in Florida after that and worked for Disney. And unfortunately at that time the company was on hiring freezes. The market was bad because of 9/11, and I decided I'm going back to college. So I went back to school. I finished up with a master's degree in project management, and I had no job prospects at that time, so I applied. And while I was in school, actually, I helped recruit. Knock me over again, Ellie. I helped recruit for the college program, so I had my status at the company. I went down every chance I got to work, kind of per diem, part-time, seasonal, whatever I could, because I was so gung-ho about the company. I mean, I still am. I still love the company very much. We go on vacations there as much as we can. We're DVC members. But to get to your question, Hitchhiking Yeti, that brought me to the cruise line. So I worked on the cruise line in like 2007 to 2000, I want to say maybe 2007 to 2008, into like March of 2008. And I was a communications manager. I took whatever job they can give me. Communications manager was what produced all of the pamphlets, documents, signage, video screens, events. I did event planning for the cruise staff, so I reported to the cruise director. I worked alongside the assistant cruise director on the Wonder, and I did about three contracts. I had one contract, and then the person on the other ship never went back, so they took who was coming back for me and they put them on the Magic, and then I extended my contract, and then I extended it again. So I was there for like, I want to say like 7 months, 8 months. Loved cruise line. The hardest job I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, yeah, I guess physically hard. Physically and mentally hard. I would go to work at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I would work 7 days a week, and I would have no time off. Just like an hour after work, I would go walk on the running track. I would go to the crew bar, have a drink, and then go to work and do it all over again. Stay here. Hey, you're gonna stay over here. So I really liked it. It wasn't for me. There was no benefits when you left. There was no benefits. There was only benefits while you were on the ship. There was no 401k. The pay was shoddy at best, especially with a master's degree. If you're young and you're energetic and you can work hard, go for it. I had bills to pay. I had car insurance. I had, cell phone, things like that. And I was wasn't really taking much money home when I was done with the contract. So also some personal stuff. Are you telling me something? Also some personal stuff happened. So I cut my ties with Disney altogether. And while I love the company and I would do anything for them, there's a world out there for you to find other jobs. Job responsibilities was producing all of the, hey, she's bossing me now. You see this? We're gonna go soon, okay, after this question. Produce all the pamphlets, I would get them distributed out to the hotels, and I would go around to, like, I'd do shipboard quality, so I'd check lights and standees and check, like, carpet, make sure everything looked really well. Bug on me. Make sure everything, like, looked great. And so I would be basically writing and proofing and getting sign off and then printing everything. The navigator, I think they call it. Yeah, so that's kind of what I did. So Hitchhiking Yeti, he has his own channel, Instagram. Go check him out. He loves, like, roadside attractions, you know, things that you don't normally see. He goes to some really wild places and comes up with some really great videos, kind of up and down the East Coast, and also some Disney magic sprinkled in. You guys should check him out as well. Whew. Hi, baby. All right, we are now, hey, we're now in a crisis. Ellie gets very upset with kids when they act up. There's a kid over there. He's having fun. We are now at East Bay Dog Park. I think it's called Parker Playground. This is a really nice, quiet, shaded spot to be in for the rest of this. I'm trying to do, maybe we'll do one more. I'm trying to find a place that I can have a seat and be in shade at the same time, because it's probably about 93 degrees. Helicopter coming. Breezy too, so. We're in between the Charleston Battery and Waterfront Park. You know, the famous pineapple fountain you probably saw in some of my other videos. It's a good spot. All right, carrying on. Next question comes from Travel with Wes on Instagram. Wes is kind of, from what I know, he is like kind of adventure, hiking, travel on YouTube and Instagram, does some really good photography, and he's just trying to live his best life as well. He's done some, I think, through Iceland. I think he did some Iceland videos. His question is approach over time, improving as a YouTuber and content creator, how far you've come, anything you'd like to incorporate moving forward. Okay, so when I started my YouTube channel, I started with my cell phone and just used the camera on my iPhone 13. I think I got a gimbal because I really wanted to steady my shot. It was like $70 or something, like an Osmo gimbal, and you could put your phone in it. And my approach was, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I like that, actually. Just wanted to start filming and making videos and get better at making videos and teach and inspire. You see a lot of times I put things about fear and trying to do the thing you're afraid to do, because that's when you grow the most. And I think that's why my channel is travel related, is because you put yourself out there when you travel, especially when you go to a country where they don't speak English. You know, we want to go to some Asian countries, a lot of people don't speak English there. You just got to try to make it work, and a lot of problem solving and thinking outside of the box. Travel does that to you. It will surprise you in the most unexpected ways. My approach, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Over time, I think going back to like my roots is try to improve with every single video. Try to add some better B-roll, or add some cool transitions, or put something funny in there. Hopefully that answers your questions. Wes, is that all I got? Anything you'd like to incorporate moving forward? I think moving forward, I want to keep putting out great videos. I want to get better at telling stories, go to places I've never been and experience them. Yeah, that's kind of the goal. Okay, next question comes to us from Tiaras and Tomorrowland. This question came to me on Instagram. I think most of you guys put it on Instagram. So her question is, what is your favorite content that I've made and why? I don't know. I mean, they're all so good. Probably most... Okay, so there's probably a couple, actually, to be honest with you. I would like to say that it's not necessarily one piece of content, but a type of content that I make that when I feel most connected is kind of like what I'm most proud of. Like, for example, I did a series at SeaWorld, and I went to SeaWorld for the day. And in the last video of this series... Oh my God, these kids are spinning so fast. They're probably gonna throw up. That thing is cruising. So, like for example, the last video in the series, I went down to the walrus exhibit, and there's this walrus there, and her name is Cora. I never met Cora before, any walruses, but when I tell you that the walrus was connecting with me socially, I was blown away. The walrus was blowing kisses, pushing his face against the glass, and I mean, it was clearly just unexplainable. I was able to touch the glass, and she kept coming back, and it's just amazing. It really is. I'm an animal lover, so naturally, those are pretty cool. There's one in Greece. I think it's called like the island you never heard of, and that's Evia, Greece. And my dad grew up there and still goes there to this day. I did a kind of like a love letter to Greece type video where I kind of talk about my feelings towards going to Greece and connecting with my roots, and that was very special to me. So videos like that. Kangaroos at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Never met a kangaroo before. I was feeding them and petting them, and really special to me. So videos like that are really cool. Haven't been to a zoo in a while, but you know, those are pretty cool. Aquarium videos, and like pretty much the entire series in Iceland was just spectacular to me and very, very special. I mean, just one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And the next question comes to us from Heartland Family Adventures. Heartland Family Adventures on YouTube and Instagram. When I tell you about content creators that are trying to eat at like every restaurant at Disney, and they go to some really great places, they also go to other theme parks, they travel on cruises, and shout out to you guys. They are also kind of like me, I think, working full-time. Heartland Family Adventures, and really pretty awesome. Their question is, what are your top 3 travel destinations on your travel to-do list? No, you're good. You're good. No, you're fine. Yeah, filming a YouTube video.
Okay. And your dog is very, very into it too.
She's a part of it.
Yeah.
She's a part of it. You say hi? With friends.
What's that?
Friends. Okay, so all right, so 3 top travel destinations on your to-do list. Let's see. I have a bucket list, and that will probably lead into another question coming up here shortly. So Japan, for sure. I actually kind of have roots with a woman from Okinawa that used to take care of me as a child, introduced me to so many things in Japanese culture. I'd love to get to Okinawa, but it's so far away, so we'll probably just do like the highlights of Japan at first, and then maybe later on we can do more. So Japan, I want to go back to Scotland. I went to Edinburgh. I missed pretty much the whole country of Scotland. I'll tell you, it goes from quiet to bustling in like 2 minutes. Okay, so hey, stay here, stay with me. I mean, I've been to Scotland, so I'll give you 2 more that I've never been to. That is probably Machu Picchu in Peru someday. Singapore. I want to go to Singapore for sure. That's like something I'm not sure if I want to go there. I want to go there like and spend like 12 days or something, but it's so far. I think it's more of like a get Amy on the plane to go there. Well, might be hard, but Singapore and like Thailand area is like really big on my list. All right, next question comes to us from Steph and Pete. They are YouTubers, full-time travel YouTubers. Steph and Pete started their channel. I think they won, and this goes back because I started watching them years ago. They won like an award, or they won some kind of like grant from Airbnb. Guys, keep me honest. Comment below. Airbnb. They got to travel like for a year. Quiet. Ellie sees a kiddo. She's trying to keep them in check. I think they won like a year of Airbnb, and they got to travel around.
Look on the. Oh yeah, it's right here. Samsonite. I was way off.
The world with Airbnb, which I think is amazing. And the smartest thing they did was to start their YouTube channel while they were out on the road. And the algorithm wasn't sending their videos to me for a while, and then I saw them again, and I subscribed, and I send support their way. Just good knowledge for them exploring. They kind of do road trips like Amy and I. When they're in a destination, they do research, which is kind of like what I do. I do a lot of research. We watch videos. We do like top things to see, you know, general travel type. If you ever get a chance, go watch their channel. You guys will all like what they do. They travel around with their son Hayes, which I think is also like an added achievement to unlock. It's hard enough with Ellie, but I can imagine like a toddler running around in certain locations that are super busy. So I tip my hat off to you guys, gold stars all the way. But they do these videos. If you ever get a chance to watch their channel, they do like night out in a city, which I think is a great idea. And they'll go to like Seoul, and they'll go to like Tokyo and, you know, India, and if they're traveling with their family, or if they can get a babysitter, sometimes they get sponsored babysitters and stuff like that. They do nights out in cities. If you guys ever come to Charleston, I think they're based out of Tennessee. I want to say that they live in like Chattanooga. I'm not sure if completely. I don't know if they have a home base there or their family lives there. But if you ever come to Charleston, definitely call Amy and I for a night out, and we'll join you and we'll go, because we don't go out as much. Night out in Charleston 2025. That's a good one. But go check out Steph and Pete. Go check out Steph and Pete. Their stuff is top notch. Really cool. Their question is top 3 meals I've had while traveling. That's a really hard question. I was thinking about it, and I came up with like 1,000 things, but now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, you're so much better. Oh, you're so much better. You're fine. Okay. Okay, okay, I'll take kisses. Thank you. You're telling everybody? Okay, you're a good girl. What's on your chin? What's on your chin? Very good. All right, we got to answer Steph and Pete's question. All right, top 3 meals when you're traveling. All right, so for example, number 1, I would probably say in Iceland. It's interesting because they don't have like a lot outside of Reykjavik, and when you go travel around like the Ring Road, it's so sparse that when you stay in a hotel for a night, that's the only place you can go to. In some locations, that's the only thing that's open. And so some of these dishes we had, like for example, the Umi Hotel, the dish there was just phenomenal. Barley wheat, and it had like a little like kind of like a mini tostada or something in there. That was just, I mean, it was like bougie, fancy. I'll try to put a screenshot. That was really tasty, really well executed food. And so really the food location all around. Also, one that comes to mind on the most recent trip towards the end of our Iceland adventure was at the Foss Hotel Helnar, and they have this like small restaurant, and I got the cod and the lobster soup, which was like, I guess the way they do lobster soup in Iceland is like spicy, kind of curry, but it was like every spoonful, it just kind of got you. I could have drank like 3 bowls of that. It was amazing. The cod hits different in Iceland. Like, it flakes off with like ease. You like barely touch it and the thing is just flaking off, and so tender, so delicious. And they use like little purees of things. So I would have to say 1, Iceland food is amazing. Greece, I'm a little biased because I'm Greek. The Greek food we had at the beach club Well, actually, so the beach club was really good. I had pasticho and I had octopus. Some of the best octopus I've ever put in my mouth with like fresh olive oil and hummus. Take me back. And then really like the food festivals we go to. We've been to a lot of food festivals. Some of those things, go and watch those videos. Some of those dishes we've had were so sleeper dishes that could have been on a restaurant menu and just blown you away. Like the meatballs we've eaten. I love to try all types of food, so but like, you know, moving octopus, that kind of scares me a little bit, but I would probably try it. Believe it or not, I didn't try the fermented shark in Iceland. Maybe next time. We're gonna go back in summer. A really hard question to answer too, by the way. I hope that answers it. Wasn't necessarily 3 dishes, but bonuses. I added bonuses. All right, speaking of food, our next question comes to us from McCaleb Goes West, and they have an Instagram and a YouTube channel. Most delicious videos you've had. They focus on food, but they also go, you know, they'll go on like trips and travels overseas and hiking and things like kind of like stuff that I like to do as well, like hiking or like discovering a new location. But when I tell you the food that they pick is so ridiculously good looking, juicy smash burgers, burritos, wings, donuts, coffee. They usually start with like the best coffee, and they get bonus points for not just going to Starbucks. Their food just, I get so hungry watching their stuff. It's amazing. Okay, so their question is, what trip do you enjoy rewatching for most of your YouTube videos? Is there any trip, restaurant, activity, or restaurant that reliving via YouTube just brings a smile to your face? Well, so let me think about that. So yeah, so I mean, most of what we do is just so memorable that watching it again is just super fun. Sometimes I'll rewatch them to see what I did at a certain transition or an intro. Like sometimes I'll rewatch my intros because I put a lot of work into my intros. My intros are like kind of a super cut, but I put a lot of work into them. I really like them. So I'll watch like, for example, the Santorini video. There's a 2-part series in Santorini that was a part of the whole Greece series. Some of it just brings like tingles, gets me like giddy to watch it and know that I did those things, like the wine tasting. If you ever go to Santorini, go to, God, what was the name of that winery? It's like on the edge of the damn caldera. It's called Santo Wines. The place was freaking fantastic. Like, it is like a freaking dream. I mean, most of Santorini is a dream if you've been there. Don't go there on like the busy season. Go there like off season, shoulder season, because it's just so crowded. But I felt like I was in a dream. Santo Wines, Santorini, I think it was part 1. Also, Santorini part 2, going to the Cliff Bar there was just unbelievable. Like we were on the edge of a cliff, looking down into the caldera, watching the sunset. Easily goes down as top moments of my channel. Activity. Lots of stuff like in St. Lucia was really fun. Like the beach, when we went to the beach, that was really cool. Snorkeling. I think it was like the first video of St. Lucia. We went and I was looking for seahorses, but I saw pufferfish. I saw a lionfish, which are like invasive there. Saw them just right off a couple 100 feet out from the shoreline. Go check them out on YouTube and Instagram. They go to some really great places and they eat freaking amazing, delicious foods. All right, next question comes from a fellow Instagrammer, and I think they have a YouTube as well. They are on Instagram and YouTube, so go check them out. Purposely Rerouted. I appreciate you asking the question. Here goes nothing. How do you plan your getaways? Any special apps, etc.? Also, favorite things like suggested. Yeah, so I typically plan my trips through kind of zooming out to like a 10,000 foot view and say, where do I want to go? Amy and I are like, we'll go back and forth, and I'll say I want to really go here, and she really wanted to. She was the Greece person that kind of started kicking that off. We wanted to go before the pandemic, and then we got locked down, and then after the pandemic we went to Greece. So we'll pick a destination, and I keep a list, and I think a lot of you appreciate this. I keep a list of Google Maps. I have a list of places that are pinned. So I create a new location, like for example, Scotland is one of the ones that I'm thinking about going to soon. I don't know, in the next couple of years. I want to see the Highlands and stuff. So I will pin locations that I think, like that famous Harry Potter train, pin it to Scotland. Isle of Skye, pin it to Scotland. I met a guy in Trader Joe's that somehow we ended up talking travel, and he's from another country, and I should go visit there. And I was telling him, I film a lot of these locations, and he was saying that there's like a boat you can stay on in the harbor in Edinburgh that is like in the water. All those places, castles, locks, pin them. I pin it all to Google Maps. I use YouTube. I use Instagram. A lot of times you see those like impossible shots. Yeah, so I do that. I research through TripAdvisor. I typically will say, okay, here's a location. Show me the top 10 most popular kind of places. Yeah, so I'll do like a search just to see like what the top places are, and I'll sort through those, and then I'll pin those to my Google. Sometimes I even put them in like a Notion. I'll forward them to Notion, table and Notion. I love it all. I love hiking on vacation. I like trying like all the crazy things. So, all right, we're almost done here. We've got one more. We got to finish the question from Purposely Rerouted, and then we got a rapid fire. We got some rapid fire questions, quick ones. So favorite things. So when I'm traveling, my favorite things are connecting with the communities and just seeing how people live in a new location. Like, it's just sometimes different and also very similar to what we do here in the States. For example, like in one of our videos in Iceland, Amy was like, where are the doctor's offices? Like, where do people go to dentists? And it's so true, because there's like, if you've been to Iceland, you drive on these roads and there's just nothing. You see like once in a while you see a farm, but there's no, you have to go to like the towns, right? So there's little towns scattered throughout. I just find it, fascinating, because if you're gonna go to the dentist and you live in some of these spots, it's a 2-hour drive to the nearest town. Like Vik or Hoffen, they're far from each other. And if you live in between there, you're driving sometimes an hour, 2 hours. There's nothing unless that's why most people live in Reykjavik, but not everybody lives in Reykjavik or Hoffen or Vik. They want to live in the middle of nowhere, away from people. So but I find it fascinating, and for example, like in Paris, there's no garbage cans in the streets. It's so hard to find a garbage can, and that's just because safety is very paramount in cities. A lot of cities in Europe are like that, where you can't find it, and like the security guard said, just leave it on the ground. Okay, fine. Greece was great to connect with my roots. I kind of understand them, but it is good to just see them in their like habitat, just living the dream and seeing what it's like, because it's just everybody lives differently, and that inspires me that we're all on the same planet. We're all on the same planet, but we're so similar but also very different. Check them out, Instagram and YouTube. Rapid fire. I got to do this very, very quick. All right, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Documenting my travels, learning, growing, and bringing you with me. Number 2, how do you come up with ideas for your videos? Well, kind of is like what we're doing. Up. Quiet. We're gonna go in like 2 minutes. Mostly it's Mostly it's our travel that inspires us. If Ellie can come, usually is even better. We really, our dream is to get her on a plane, like Bark Air or something, or, you know, I've seen dogs on planes. Let's see. What are the biggest challenges you've faced as a content creator? Probably the balance between working as a full-time worker, trying to come up. Sometimes I will leave for the weekend and go to a destination and film it and make a video about my experiences there, like my Savannah videos, my Jacksonville, the Columbia Zoo and Gardens. Like, it's hard. I go all week, work really, really hard, and then go to the weekend, right to Sunday. Busch Gardens, drive down there, come back. I mean, it's a lot of work. All right, moving on. Can you share some tips for someone who wants to start their own YouTube channel? If you watched my last video, I got a gold medal from answering a video on VidCon. I put a lot of stuff in there, but basically the idea is that you just begin. Do something that you're super passionate about that you can do for like 10 years at a time, and don't look back. Make videos. If you are not good at editing, try to shoot them in a couple takes. Find a free editor, use your cell phone, whatever you have to do. If it's a dream of yours, do it. Get started now. You're only in competition with yourself. That's why I put so much support out there. I'm very positive. Sorry, rapid fire. Yeah, so just start, do it, and make short videos at first. Just do shorts. When I started YouTube, there was no shorts. I was making like 20-minute videos, I think, 30-minute videos. Some of my videos are like 50 minutes or an hour. Do shorter ones. Don't torture yourself like me. Just put out like 5-minute videos on a topic, whatever it may be. Maybe you're a big fan of trees or birds. Put it out there. There's people to watch it. Or how do you balance your YouTube channel, personal life, and other commitments? Yeah, that's hard too. Like I work all day. I edit at nighttime. I edit on the weekends. Like I was editing last night late, and yeah, I don't know. You just got to do it. But if it causes too much problems and you're stressed out, do a video every week or every other week, or maybe once a month. Do a video. Make it your best video you've ever put out there. What are your future goals for my channel? Right now, I mean, my goal this year was 20,000. I'm far short of it. I did hit 10,000. That's why we're doing this video. 20,000 for this year, and then probably see what happens after that. I'm not really, trying to go viral or anything like that. I just want to make videos and stories that I can look back on and inspire others to get out there, to not be scared of going overseas or taking a road trip. Or I never got to do those things growing up. I never traveled. My mom didn't have money. We traveled very sparingly, maybe to like see my grandfather or whatever, but she used to say, oh, one of these days I'm going to go out east. And she was talking about out east, Hamptons, like an hour from my house. We could have done that at any time, and she just never got out, and she was scared to go. So I know there's more of you out there that think about going to another special place, and it's in your heart and your dreams. That's kind of like, go do it. And then this is the last one. Who are your biggest inspirations and role models in the YouTube community? Well, probably just too many to name, but let me grab a couple. A couple of those are you guys. So some of it is you guys. Definitely like started watching like Tim Tracker. I don't watch so much Tim Tracker now. He's doing a lot of like parenting type stuff. I do watch his cruise videos, and I watch some of his stuff here and there. Started watching him. Also, another comment, they commented but they didn't ask a question, but Adventures of Matt and Nat. Hey guys, they're also in the Southeast. I think they're based out of Tennessee. Also mostly full-time, but I think they also still work. They go to some really cool places, and just like me and Amy and Ellie, we like to eat the food, we like to drink the drinks and have a beer and, have cocktails and take in the vibe of a place. Like their Ireland series was very good. I don't see a lot of videos from Ali Gallup, but his videos are freaking phenomenal. I mean, he's got like fast cuts and all that stuff. Let's see. Dan Mace, he's a big one. He's like a filmmaker, so he inspires me to like make better stories and make better videos. Shout out to Dan Mace. He's out of South Africa. I've gotten into droning the last couple of years, so Flight Path kind of inspires me. Go Time Travels. I was going to Iceland as they were finishing their Iceland journey. We were arriving. They're kind of like us, like travel, you know, do it yourself travel, I guess, like where you kind of plan it out and do some amazing stuff. They have a video, and I connected with them, sent them a message, and I thanked them because we weren't sure what to think of the weather in Iceland, and the weather in Iceland was just ridiculous. And go watch the video where they were done with Iceland. They had like the snow blowing and wind. We experienced that. Don't ever want to do it again. But they inspire me. Their videos are really great. You should go watch them. There's a couple of other group of friends. Mathers on the Map. I think I said Matt and Rachel. They're kind of a couple travel. They go around to really cool destinations and eat some freaking amazing food. You guys all eat amazing food. On World Travel, Olivia and Nathan, they are hilarious. They travel all over the place. Super fun. Love their videos. Samantha Brown. She has made a resurgence on YouTube recently. Used to watch her stuff growing up on Travel Channel. She's great. She's doing her own thing. Shout out to Samantha Brown. I'm sure she inspires all of you. Kingin' It. I actually sent out to them to see if they'd answer, but they didn't. They're busy renovating their house. Really funny videos. They do really cool challenges. Great videos. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. So hope you guys enjoy this Ask Me Anything. Again, ask me anything again, and I'll still answer it, maybe through social media. If you didn't get a chance, comment below and ask me any question you want. And if I get enough, I'll do another one. But thank you for 10,000 subscribers. All right, and my battery's dying, so that's gonna wrap it up. This is probably gonna be like 6 hours long. I'm gonna try to cut it out and stop my rambling. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. My first Ask Me Anything, 10,000 subscribers. Thanks for all your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, dudes.